Guys, welcome back after a long time. Hope you are all are fine. So today I will be attending a session for trip assessment. So I'm scheduling examination for AZ-104, which is Azure Administrator Associate. So before attending that certification exam, I will be do the practicing assessment, which is available on the Microsoft Learn site. So this is the link where you can find all the uh, certifications prep if you want to attend. So I will be share this link in the comment. So you can go through there and follow the instructions. So uh, some of that are available and some of the that are in the process. So these are the certification which is not yet available, but Microsoft is planning to highlight in this repo section. So far these are the examination also are available. So if you are planning to attend any examination for any of the courses, you can just go uh, and do the practice assessment so that you can brush up your knowledge more. So today I will be go and attend for AZ-104, which is Azure Administrator. So I will be click on that one. Started the assessment for practice for AZ-104. So this is my first question. You have an Azure AD tenant. You need to prevent the user for registering. So for that, I will be doing user setting and configure the app registration setting. Yeah, it looks fine. This is the correct answer. Moving to the next, and you have planned to create 100 user by using the bulk create user operation in the Azure Active Directory admin center. You need to create CSV file that contain a user information. So basically what attributes should you specify in the CSV file for each user? So the display name, the user principal, and the account. Yeah, that one I will. Yes. So moving to the next. Uh, the third one is your Azure AD tenant and on-premises Active Directory domain contain multiple users. You need to configure SSR write back functionality. The solution must minimize cost. So in that case, the premium P1 will be work. Check, yeah. So the fourth one, you have an Azure subscription that contain a multiple user and the administrator. You are creating a new custom role by using the following JSON. So these are the JSON file, and yeah. So what are the three actions can be performed by user? That is assign the custom role. So here the action role, the read and the write and the read, yeah, and the support. So they can be able to do the call to the support as mentioned the action item and the read permission, and also they can read all the virtual machine setting, read and create a snapshot because write and read it both mentioned. Let me check that one. Yeah, moving to the next. So you have a Azure subscription that contain an RG name RG1. RG1 contain a VM and connected to the virtual network. A user admin 1 must be able to change the setting of network 1. So for that uh, you need to use the PowerShell to assign admin one the appropriate role and permission which to PowerShell statements should be used. Sure, this one object ID, okay. No, this one, and we need to this one. Let me check. Sorry, yeah, that one. We forget that one. We need to only assign the ID user and that display name. We don't need to assign the service principal. Okay, no problem. Moving to the next. You have a Azure subscription that contain a RG, and RG contains a virtual machine that runs daily report. You ensure virtual machine shut down when resource group. Okay, and for that now we need to from what is mentioned which to action should we you perform sure for that cost billing budget setting. Okay, yeah, ensure we need to do that and stop the VM Jackson. Yeah, it looks fine. Moving to the next, you have an Azure subscription that contains 100 of VMs that were migrated from the local data center. You need to identify which VMs are underutilized. So for that, which advisor settings should we use? So for that, normally we use cost. Let me check. Yeah, now it's fine. So moving to the next. Question number 8. You have several management group and the Azure resource subscription. You want to prevent the accidental deletion of the resources. Which three resource types you apply the delete? Basically, on the subscription we can apply storage account data. No. The virtual machine, yes, we can. In the management, no. The resource would be yes. Let me check. Yeah, now it's fine. Move on to the next. You have a subscription that contains 25 VM. You need to ensure that each VM is associated with a specific department for the reporting purpose. So normally we use the tagging to differentiate and specify the department. Yeah, now it's fine. Moving to the next. You have a Azure subscription. You plan to create a policy, define policy name P1, policy 1. You need to include a remediation information to indicate which user. So normally in that case, which two definition sections should be you add remediation information for policy. So normally we use that metadata. Let me check that one. Yeah, it's correct. So the 11th number question is you have subscription that contain a RG contain a VM1, and you need to use VM as a template in a which three method we can use. So first of all in this one, okay, and the export and let me check what is the correct. Yeah, this is the correct one. Moving to the next. You have ARM template name deploy.json, and that is stored in blob storage container. You plan to deploy. Okay, so which parameters would you use to reference the template? Normally we use the template URI. Let me check. Yes, this is correct. You plan to deploy a VM based on a basic template stored in ARM template library. So what can you configure during the deployment of the template. So normally we use that research group. Let me check the one. Yeah. Number 14 question. Your company has a set of resources deployed to an Azure subscription. The resources are deployed to a RC name as this one. By using the ARM template, you need to verify the data and the time of the were created, which blade, okay, which blade you can review in the Azure portal. So normally we use this deployment. Yeah, that one is the right one. Moving to the next, the company has planned to host an application for 4 virtual machines. You need to ensure that at least 2 VM are available if a single data center failed. So in that case, which abilities option should you select for the? So normally in the field of the data center, in that case we'll use the availability zone. Yeah, correct one. Now this section number, you have a VM. So you received a notification that VM is going to be affected by underlying maintenance activity on the first physical infrastructure. You need to move that to VM to different host. So normally we use, yeah, normally we use redeploy to that virtual machine so that it can be moved to that different host automatically and start on that. So yeah, that even is the correct one. Moving to the next, 17. You are deploying a virtual VM by using an availability set in East-West Azure region. You have deployed a team VM in to for domain and the update domain. So Microsoft performing plan physical hardware maintenance in East-West 2, and yeah. So what are the maximum number of virtual machine that will be available? Okay, okay, 2. Okay, so in that case it will be 2. Yeah, this one is the correct one. So question number 18. Your development team plan to deploy ACI, which is Azure Container Instance. The container need to be persist storage layer. Which service should you use? So in that case you will use the Azure file. Let me check. Yeah, the next question is, as you have subscription that contain a container app name count 1, you plan to add a scaling. Okay, so container app. Okay, you need to ensure that this replica are created based on the received message in the Azure bus. So in that case normally we use which scale trigger should we use. So in that case we'll use the event driven. So event driven is necessary for that. So question number 20, you have a subscription that contain a Azure app name this one. You have following the diagnostics, logging configuration, so app logging error, and this one you need to configure the diagnostic logging to store all the warnings or higher. Which type of diagnostic logging and the severity should you enable? Okay, so normally detailed error measures, this one, this one, and the warning. Let me check that one. Maybe let me check that one. Okay, only 2 will be there. Detail error message, this not will be available. Okay, no worries. Moving to the next 21 number question. You need to create a Azure apps, web app that run on Windows. The web app requires scaling for 5 instances, 45 GB of storage, and a custom domain. Okay, and the solution must be minimize cost. So in that case, we can use the standard one instead of going to that premium. Yeah, standard will be work. 22 question number. You have a Azure subscription. You plan to deploy a web app on the Linux-based Docker container. You need to recommend a solution for the deployment of a web app that meets the following requirements. So the support a custom domain, provide the ability to scale out the automatically based on demand, minimize administrative effort, minimize cost. Which should which solution should you recommend? Sure. In that case, will means in the custom domain require the scaling and the minimize administrative effort and the cost. So in that case, we can use the app service. Yeah. It's question number 23. You need to generate a SaaS token authorized to a request to a resource. Which to parameter? So now normally we use uh, IP and stub parameter. Okay, and this one let me check. No, sign services and the sign resource type. We don't need to use this sign IP. Okay, no worries. Moving to the next question now 24. You have an Azure storage account, naming this one, and an on-premises share folder, name this one. You need to migrate all the component from that on-premises to this Azure account. Which two command can we use? So normally we use the azurecopy and this one. Let me check that one. Sorry, that need to be enabled. That need to be checked. Get child item. Okay. So the first one we need to use for the copy, and this one need to be check that child item. Moving to the next, no worries. 25. You have subscription that contain a storage account, general purpose v2, and store one premium account, use GRS, and yes, store 3 is RA GRS, and we need to identify a storage account can be convert ZRS for live migration. So LRS we can be able to do the we can do the convert to the ZRS, I believe. Let me check that one. Store 2. Yeah, this is the correct one. You have an storage account. You need to copy the data storage account to the storage account by using AzCopy tool. Okay, which tool? Two types of data storage are supported by AzCopy. Okay, so the blob is the one, and the file is the one. Only two. Okay, yeah, that's the one. So question number 27. You create an Azure data box, import and export job from the Azure portal, the package and the ship or disk to a data center. Okay, you need to ensure that data is imported to the Azure. Okay, what should you do the next? So run this one. No. Update the job including tracking. Yes. And no. Upload text. No. Let me check that one. Yes, this is the correct one. Moving to the next 28 number question. You have a subscription that contain a multiple storage account. Storage account name, this one has a file share, stores making videos. User reported that 99% of the assigned storage is used. Okay. You need to ensure that the file share can be support large files and up to 100 TB. Okay. Which two PowerShell commands should you run? Okay. So first of all, we'll have to enable that the large file, and after that we need to update that one. Let me check that one. It should be, yeah, it should be, yeah. And let me check that one. Yes, this is correct. So question number 29, you create a storage account and you need to create a lifecycle management to move blob to the cold storage. If the blob has not been given for the 30 days, so what should you do the first? So in that case, normally we are using the first one, enabling access tracking. So if nobody is using till 30 days, we can track using this enabling access, checking that one. Yeah, this is the correct one. Moving to the next. You have an storage account that contain a file share. Okay, several users work from a secure location that limits outbound traffic to the internet. You need to ensure that the user at the secure location can access the file share in Azure. Okay, which outbound port should you allow? Okay, so normally for the file share for the SMB, normally we use the 445 port number. Let me check that one. Yeah, this is the correct one. So moving to the 31 question number, you have an Azure subscription and on-premises Hyper-V VM named VM1. VM contains a single virtual disk. Okay, you plan to use the VM as a VM1 as a template to deploy 24 a new virtual machine. You need to upload a VM1 to Azure. Okay, which command should you be use? So in that case, normally we need to create a VST file for that. So here the first option will work. Let me check that one. We need to upload that to the, check that one. Yeah, this is the correct one. Moving to the next, the 32 question number, you need to create a Azure alert based on the metric value and the activity log events. The solution must meet the following requirements. Set a limit to how many times an alert notification is sent. Call an Azure function where an alert is triggered. The third one is configure the alert to have a severity of warning when triggered. So the question is which two resources should you create? Okay, so normally we need the notification and the alert for that. So for that we will create this one. Let me check that one. Oh sorry, the action group and that. Okay, so we need to create an action. First we need to create an alert and then we need to create an action group. Okay, no worries. Moving to the next question number 33. You have an Azure virtual machine that hosts a third-party application named App1. User report that they experience performance issue when they are using that application. You need to find the root cause of that performance issue. Okay, so normally we use that Azure Monitor to check the performance. Yes. So question number 34, you have a VM that run Linux operating system. The VM hosts a custom application that outbound log data in this JSON format. You need to recommend a solution to collect the log in the Azure monitor. What should you include the recommendation? So yeah, we need to add the extensions. Yes. No, DC, no, it will not work. Log analytics agent. For yeah, we need to enable that log analytics agent for the Linux. Yeah, yes, this is the correct one. Moving to the next question number 35. You have multiple VM and Azure Recovery Service Vault. VM are configured with the default backup policy. What is the retention period of the virtual machine backup in the default backup? So normally default backup policies for that retention period is 30 days normally. So let me check that one. Yeah, that one correct one. So question number 36, you have an Azure subscription that contain two protected VM1 and VM2. VM1 and VM2 are backed up with the recovery service vault. This one, the same policy. Okay, your company plan to create a additional virtual machine and recovery service vault. During this process, VM vault 1 will be decommissioned. Okay, unit to delete the vault 1. So what are the three actions should you perform? Now for that I have done this video. So first of all, we'll have to stop the backup for that one and permanently remove that no no disable the soft deletion first in the recovery service vault and stop the backup, and then after we need to permanent remove. So yeah, moving to the next question number 37. You have an Azure VM named server1 that runs Windows Server. You need to configure backup to backup files and the folders. What should you install on the server one? So normally we use the Mars agent. I already have a video how do we can take a backup of the how do we can configure this Mars agent in any of the Windows server. You can just check my videos, you can find that the steps. So the next one is next question 38. You have Azure subscription that contain the following VNet virtual network. So VNet 1 is the range 192. Okay, VNet 2 is 10.10.10 and 0.0, and the VNet 3 is this one. So you need to configure the virtual network peering. Okay, which two pairing can you create? Okay, so we can be able to do the pairing in between 1 and 2 easily, and 1 and 3 no, 2 and 3 yes, we can do the 2 and 3, 3 and 1 no. So let me check that one. Yeah, this is the correct one. Moving to the next. You have to Azure subscription 1 and 2, sub 1 and sub 2. Subscription 1 contain a VNet and name the VNet 1 virtual network and the VPN gateway. Subscription 2 contain a virtual network VNet 2. You have on-premises device name device 1 that run Windows and has a point to site VPN client installed. You configured network peering in between VNet 1 and VNet 2. Okay, you need to ensure VNet device 1 can access VNet 2. Okay, so what should you do? So here is that point to site VPN client is already installed. So we need to do again need to download and reinstall that one. Let me check that one. Yes, this is the correct one. Moving to the next question, number 40. You have Azure subscriptions that contain a network NSG named NSG1. You plan to configure NSG1 to allow the following types of traffic. Okay, NSG1. On NSG1, the remote desktop management and the secure HTTPS, which two port allow you for. So this is the for the remote desktop management, and for RDP normally we use the 3389 port, and the second one is secure HTTPS. So for that we normally use 443 port. Let me check that one. Yeah. Moving to the question number 41. You have an Azure virtual network that contains 4 subnets. Each subnet contains 10 virtual machines. You plan to configure an NSG that will allow inbound traffic over TCP port 8080 to 2 virtual machine on each subnet. The NSG will be associated to each subnet. Okay. So you need to recommend a solution to configure the inbound access by using the fewest number of NSG rules possible. Okay, so normally we use AZ application security group for that one. The subnet for the virtual machine, it should be not. The service tag, it should also not. So let me check that one. Yeah, this is the correct one. So moving to the next question, 42 number question. So you have virtual machine VM1 assigned to the NSG edition. NSG1 has the following outbound security policy. Rule 1, priority 900, and this one, protocol TCP. Okay, and rule 2 is a priority 1000, allow internet. Port number 80, TCP. Okay, you need to insert that internet access on VM1 on port 80 is allowed, and okay, is allowed. Okay, so on the priority 900, it's blocking this internet for that port 80. So we need to change this rule for energy rule 1. So let me check that one. Oh sorry, no, for the rule 2. Really? Okay, got it. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, this is the, we need to change the priority on the rule 2. Sorry, no worries. Moving to the next. We have 3 moving to the 43 question number. You have 3 NSG 1, 2 and 3. Port 80 is blocked on NSG 3 and allowing. Okay, so VM1, okay, subnet 1, NIC 1, and it assigned to NSG 2. Okay, and the VM this one NIC2, and then I assign to this one, and VM3. Okay, and VM4 is alone for subnet 2, which you have the following subnet. Subnet 1 is assigned to an NSG1. Okay, which virtual machine will allow the traffic from the internet on port 80, NSG3, VM2. Here is the block and allowing the 1 and 2. Okay, and NSG1 and 2 is associated with subnet 1. Subnet 1 is associated with the VM1, so basically the VM1. Let me check that one. Correct, yeah, got it. Moving to the next question, the 44. You are planning to deployment of a custom ASP.NET application that will allow on the IS server. The application will be hosted on the 4 VM. The VM will belongs to the same VNet and subnet that have a private IP addresses. The application will use a SQL Server database to store content. Okay, you need to configure the load balancing for the application. The solution must ensure that application is safe from any attacks such as SQL injection and the cross attacks. So what should you configure? Okay, so we can't allow configure the NSG public load balance, no, then internal load balance, no, and the application gateway we can use load balancing. Okay, here also need required for that load balancing and should be safe for SQL engines. Okay, check that one. Yes. So moving to the next question, the question number 45. So you have subscription that allow multiple virtual machine on a public load balancer named PLB. PLB1 is configured to balance port 80 and 443 on the virtual machine. A virtual machine named VM1 will be used to connect all the other virtual machines by using the RDP. So you need to forward all the RDP request to VM1 only. Okay, what should you do? You need to forward all the RDP request to VM1. Create a public IP node, add a load balance. Balance is there. So let me check that one. Inbound NAT rule is required. We need to configure that one. Let me check. Yes, this is the correct. Moving to the question number 46. You have an Azure Virtual Network VNet, and that is deployed on the storage region. You need to ensure that email is sent to an admin when a virtual machine is connected to VNet. Okay, so what should we do? So we need to create an alert, and yeah, action group is also required. Yes. So the final the 47 question, you have Azure subscription that contain the following resources: 8 virtual network, 24 virtual machines, 16 storage account. You need to implement a monitoring solution that provide the ability to view the diagnostics and the telemetry data generated by Azure resources. What should you include in the solution? Okay, you need to implement a monitor solution of telemetry data generated by the Azure resources. So for that solution, normally we use the log analytics workspace. Check that one. Yes, this is the correct one. Moving to the next 48 number. You plan to provision an Azure subscription that will contain the following VNet. VM1 is in the HTOS region. HTOS V2 is also having two subnet. VNet 2 is in the HTOS2 region with four subnet. Okay, and the West Europe region with four subnet. West Europe with okay. How many network watch instances will be provisioned as a part of deployment? So as you can see, here is the some means and this is not a straight question. You can see here this is east-west Azure region and the east-west region. So there is no any differences in between that. But if you are a new guy, I mean, sometimes maybe people yeah, will get confused in this one, Azure region and the normally region. So normally we'll have to create two network voucher, one for the east west and then another for the West Europe. So let me check that one. Yes. So coming to the question number 49, you have an Azure subscription that contain a VM, VNet, application gateway, and the load balancer. You need to monitor the network health of the resources. Okay, which services, Azure services should you use? So to monitor that mm, virtual machine uh, network health of the resources. So for that normally we use the network watcher. Moving to the so this is our final question number 50 for this assessment. Is it 104? So this is the last question. You have an Azure subscription that contains 20 VNet virtual network and the 500 VMs. Okay, you deploy a new virtual machine, name this one 501. Okay, you discover that 501 is unable to communicate with the virtual machine name VM20 in the subscription. You suspect that NSG is the cause of that issue. You need to identify whether an NSG is blocking the communication. The solution must minimize the administrative effort. Sure, NSG flow log no packet capture. It won't be the uh, time taken. Diagnostic no. IP flow verify. We can use that one. IP flow verify. Okay, check that one. Yes, this is the correct one. So finally we come to end of this assessment. Now I'm going to submit that one. After submitting this it will start the compiling this one. So finally my score is populating here. Out of that my score is 90 and aim of that is highest as score for this is 80%. Out of that means I got 90%, and you can see overall the performance of that assessment sections. So yeah, after that you can schedule the examination, which will you can appear from Pearson view, or you have to pay for that, or otherwise you can take another practice assessment for this uh, 104 certification. And also I'm getting that you pass all the section, you pass the multiple attempt, consider as scheduling an exam. Yeah, so I'm going to check this, go to the exam details. You can able to see all this one, and here from here you can settle the examination. So hope this video is really helpful to you, and I will be share this link on the chat box, means the box where you can go through that, and whatever the examination you are planning to for that certification, you can just go and practice that. It will be really helpful to you to prepare for that final examination, for the certification examination. And coming to that, these are the certification, and will be this examination will be published soon. So hope we will get more hands-on on that one. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe this video, and also share with your friends. Thank you so much.